All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by CoinTrader Inc. Mind your money, and recorded in front of a live studio audience.
I see a lot of the media saying that he's leading and everybody's getting nervous.
So how did we get here? How is the race this close?
Why is basically every public pollster saying the election is way too close to call? What is it that's going on here that has allowed this election to be so close?
This race will be far too close. Because unfortunately, we do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men, let's be clear, but in small pockets among black and brown men, too.
Is your vote? Are you gonna vote? Will you vote for me? Is your vote? Are you gonna vote?
Uncle Teddy, little
Will you vote for me? Are you gonna vote?
Strong, all, over the road, New Orleans.
Are you gonna vote?
Two weeks left. Under 2 weeks left. And this thing's finally going to be over. Let me tell you something. You know how usually 2 weeks flies by, Teddy?
Usually, yeah. Like you're anticipating of an event or something coming up, and the time just flies right by.
Not now.
No.
We're going to talk about that. Candid phone calls. I'm going to tell you about my new friend Mabel on this podcast. Aotr.
They used to call me lightning. I was always quick to strike. Had everything I owned in the saddles on my back. I had a reputation for never staying very long, just like a wild and restless drifter, like a cowboy in a song.
Yeah.
I met a dark-haired beauty where they lay the whiskey down in southern Arizona, in a little border town. She had to dance for money in that dusty old saloon. I dropped $1 in the jukebox, played that girl a tune, yeah.
I don't care how much trouble I get in.
Okay, for what?
Never see it coming. It just hits you by surprise. It's that cold place in your soul, and that fire in her eye that makes you come together like wild horses when they run. Now the cards are on the table and the bullets in the gun.
I like the bullets in the gun, baby. It's from All Over the Podcast here in beautiful Lakeview, the new and improved CoinTrader Studios.
Looking good. Oh, it's, man, you got a TV screen up. You got a big new CoinTrader sign. We got, oh, man, what an atmosphere. I mean, it pumps me up.
I know. Listen to the crowd.
It pumps me up.
Listen to the damn crowd.
Now, who was that you were playing?
This is Toby Keith.
I was going to say, is that the late, great Toby Keith?
Yes.
I had an opportunity to meet
Bullets
him
in the gun.
about 20 years ago at the Washington Parish Fair.
Washington Parish Fair.
You ever been there?
No.
It's a huge...
Bogalusa? Bogalusa?
Yeah, up in that area, Washington Parish.
Well,
yeah,
I'm
it's
very famous in
huge.
Bogalusa. I'm famous in Bogalusa.
Are you?
Absolutely.
Would you care to say why?
Well, yeah. I mean, I hunt in Mississippi, around Henley Field, around Poplarville, off of 49 North. And when it's time to go into town, you do a hunting trip with the guys, and you get your hunt in, and you clean your deer, you skin your deer, you get everything ready, and then it's time to go out and kick up your heels. And so we do that.
Bogalusa is a great town.
Great.
It depends on which way the wind's blowing and how it smells there, right?
Well, let me tell you.
It's what it's infamous for.
The poor people in Bogalusa have been through a lot. As they're hiring at the paper mill right now. There's jobs available. If you know anyone you listening here that wants to work at the paper mill in Bogalusa, it's not a bad life. It's shift work.
But
it's not that bad. So
it's all over the place. But it was Washington Parish Fair. I want to say I had both of my girls with. They were like,
yeah.
I mean, they were 7, 8 years, 9. I don't even know. This is over 20 years ago. And what a nice guy. He took pictures. He was really friendly. Did a little interview. He was great. I'm not a big country music fan. I don't think you are either.
No, I am.
That's new to me.
I actually am. No, I am. I've segued along with me going radical right, which I've become. I've become radical right. Radical right.
Mad as hell.
I've become.
You've been listening to Alex Jones, haven't you?
I'm radical.
I don't even think you know how to find Alex Jones. Would you?
No, I don't know.
I listen to him.
I can't find freaking Wally or Wilbur or whatever his name is.
Who's that?
I don't know. The book. But anyway, the reason why I played that is because I was telling Ted, I got myself a new gun. Okay. Last week, a very good, a person that's very close to me in my life, I'm not going to mention any names or anything, let's just put it this way. He is a federal agent in one of the 3 branches of security in the United States.
That's about all you should say.
That's all I should say. Yeah. And so he took me out. I got these weapons and I rarely fire them. And as a matter of fact, some of my handguns I haven't fired in years. I don't go to the range. I usually go up to the country and shoot. So we had this little class, me and a couple of my buddies, a couple of my nephews, and we were up there, shooting guns. And so a friend of mine, Mumpkin, who he knows who he is, who's actually a New Orleans fire chief. He's one of the chiefs who I had the honor of putting the badge on him when he got chief. So he picked me to put the badge on him. Sweet guy, one of my dearest friends.
That's an honor.
Yeah, it was a great honor. And as a matter of fact, Bobby Abear's son-in-law was getting chief that same day, and me and Bobby were chatting in the audience. You know, but
this is a few years ago.
This is about 6-7 years ago.
Okay.
So he handed me his SIG Saucer. It's a handgun. It's a little SIG. It's not a big. It's a full-size gun. And I was missing the target. I couldn't hit a darn thing. Yeah. First of all, my stance was all wrong. Your stance has got to be right. You got to be loosey goosey. One hand's the grip. The other, you can't choke the gun. Okay. You know, so I'm missing. So I grab his SIG. He goes, try my gun. I try it, and I did a lot better with it. So me and my agent friend, we went over to Puglia's, Tony Puglia, right over here. Let's give a hand for Tony Puglia.
All right, Tony, yeah.
Puglia Sporting Goods, who was in our Sportsman show since 1980. We used to do that Sportsman show in the Superdome.
Louisiana Sports.
That's right. We did it for 30 years. And he was one of the big players and all that. I went over there, and so I'm looking at all these SIGs. They have very different types of SIGs. And so I'm looking at him. And so my guys tell me, look, goes, Vic, you got to hold the gun in your hand. He goes, when you hold the gun in your hand, you'll know. So I'm saying, try this one, try that one. So then he's looking online if he can order me, because I'm getting the laser put on it. Because when you got the laser, you really can't miss. Plus, if you put a laser on somebody and it's on his forehead, that person's going to stop doing whatever he's doing. Yeah, he's going to stop.
Because they can see the laser. And it's right at their eye.
Right. So he's looking to order a laser for this one I picked up. I don't know. It was all right. It was kind of like the one that Mumpkin had. Yeah. And then there was this other one. She was chrome, with steel. All right. And she had the 20 go into clip. And it was a wood grain grip. She was beautiful.
Yeah. So I felt good.
I was going to buy this other gun. Yeah. And he's looking up, I'll order you the laser. So I said, you know what? I said, can I hold this one? And I picked it up and I put her in my hand. And that was it.
Wow.
And I looked at my man and I looked at him. I had the gun in my hand. Of course, I was got to point it down. Even when a gun's not loaded, you don't ever point it at anybody. Yeah, even when you know it's not loaded, you never ever point a gun at me. So you point it down. And I point it down and I go, Sam, I'm sorry. You got to edit that out. Beep. Please edit that out. I go, this is the one. And he goes, I knew it. He goes, I knew when you put the gun in your hand, you would know. So I have it now. It's beautiful. Yeah. It's dead on accurate. I've never been more happy. And so because here in the state of Louisiana, you used to have a concealed permit.
Yeah.
To conceal a weapon. You don't have to do that anymore. That's changed. So you can conceal it or you can wear it out. This is a full-size gun, so you'd wear it out.
Yeah.
This would be my everyday protection gun, know. But, I will say this to people that listen to this podcast. If you have a weapon, you need to know how that weapon works.
Yeah.
You need how to take it apart, put it together, and clean it. You cannot depend on a weapon if it isn't an extension of your hand. Of course, William Wallace, who's going to be on our next podcast, is coming in. And, of course, he was the guy that was he has a William Wallace for America podcast and the radio show on WGSO. He was the one that was telling us about all this training he had gotten. And remember, he told the story, and I'm saying, this guy really knows what he's doing. And that made me start to think, you know what? If I was ever in that situation, I don't think I would be able to handle it. We went through everything about how dropping a clip, putting another clip in, doing it all in one motion. One clip comes out, pop, another clip goes in. Because if you're in a gunfight, you don't have time to sit there and load your gun like frickin' Marshall Dillon, the Gunsmoker.
Yeah, right.
You don't have time.
Or like Tim Walz did in that video. You saw him stumbling around.
Well, and then, of course, William Wallace was telling us about his incident during the carjacking, and he was saying stuff like, I left my other clip in the car. So when he ran out of ammo, he didn't have his other clip. So you always got to make sure that you have a plan. I tell my wife, Martha, that if I'm not here, I have a .357 Magnum. And that's right. We're talking guns. We're talking guns today. We're talking a little bit. We're talking a little bit about guns.
Yeah.
I tell her, look, if I'm not here,
right.
All right. And you think there's someone in the house. All right. This is what you do. We have a plan. Okay. First of all, you got to know where everybody you got to know where they are. I know that Emily, my daughter's at home with her husband, Nick. I know that Katie's at home with her husband, Matt. I know Vic's out of town or Vic's not here. I know where everybody's at. Okay. So if you know that to be true.
How do you know where everybody's at all the time?
You're going to know. Well, you're going to know. You're going to know. I mean, it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and someone's in your house or whatever. It's just... if it's during the day, some of them work, some of them go to school, you know where these people are. We do. We know where our people are at all times. So I tell her, look, take the .357 Magnum. It's a revolver, okay? It's a very powerful weapon. All you have to do is hit any part of the target, and that person will go down. I don't care how big they are. It's a big gun, okay? It's hammerless. You don't have to cock nothing. You just point and pull the trigger. And so I say, what you do is you go in the bedroom, you lock the master bedroom. Then you go in the master bathroom, and I still say master. Yes, I do. It's not primary to me. It's master. I'm sorry. Shoot. Jeez. I almost lost my religion there. And I said, then you go in the bathroom, the master, you lock the door, you get inside the tub, all right? Because we got that big old pedestal, big, deep tub thing. Yeah. Get in there, and you take the gun, and you point it right at the door. And the first one through the door, you shoot. And that's it. But you have to you can't have a gun around the house that you've never fired. You can't have a gun around the house that you don't know how to use it. You cannot. If you got a gun, please.
So do you just periodically go to the range and shoot it?
Yeah.
Does Martha do that too?
No, she's about to do it.
But you should probably do that, right?
Yeah, we're going to do that.
So here I am.
These are new things that I think because, when you look about, first of all, they talk about this Venezuelan gang that came into, parts of Ohio and Colorado.
Yeah.
First of all, that's never going to happen in New Orleans because the New Orleans gangsters, they will not let it happen.
That's true.
You try to come into New Orleans and push around
the good side. That's one of the good points.
Because
NOLA.
Because remember after Katrina, these gangs tried to come in here and it was no go.
Yeah.
They killed them all.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't want to brag about our gang people here, but our gang people kind of keep other gang members out. That's the truth of the reality. I know some of these people. There's a picture I took with that gang a few years ago. Remember when I was with all those gangs and we posted it. Remember the picture of me and the gang members?
I think.
I'm going to find it and we're going to repost. I've got it, and we'll repost.
I'd like to see it again.
But anyway.
Okay, so I was going to say though, I may be the exception because I don't own any guns in Louisiana.
You might be.
So I did take the test. This is like 3, 4, 5 years ago now.
Right.
I forget. Me and my wife both took the
concealed weapons test. Yeah.
Concealed weapons test or class.
Yeah.
Then got the test.
Right.
So we did that, but never. Took it to the next step and actually bought a gun. We went to the range one time.
And you fired his gun?
We fired, the
instructor's gun.
Or somebody's gun. Yeah, it must have been his. And, we did okay. All worked out, but never took it to the next step of purchasing a gun, And you think I should?
I think you should while you still can. If things, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. If the right people get in power, you may not be able to.
Well, you didn't see the debate where Kamala said she's a gun owner and she doesn't want to take away your guns.
Well, you know how that goes. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to come back, do some candid phone calls. And then I want to do another thing that we've never done before is we're going to surf Instagram. And I want to make some comments about some of the things. All over the podcast. We come right back with me and Ted Semper here, the beautiful, new and improved Coin Trader Studios. Be right back.
Asking all of my subscribers to take off. Do not go to work on November 5th, and if you can, take off November 6th too. Only because we need to focus all of our whole solar energy, all the energy that we have in our body on Donald Trump winning the presidential election 2024. Now, I'm taking off the 6th too because when I focus real hard and I meditate and I give somebody my energy, I'm always tired. And I need to replenish that, so I'll be getting my rest on November 6th. We do not want Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to win. Look what Kamala Harris has done to our country. It is devastating, and she has made our country broke. We have no money to take care of our own citizens in America because of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Do not go to work on November 5th. Vote for Donald Trump.
Did you vote? Are you gonna vote? Will you vote for me?
All right, welcome back to the big show.
Big show.
The big show.
Mad as hell.
All right.
Formerly mad as hell.
Sometimes... Martha, she drives me freaking nuts with this Instagram crap, and she's somehow they found her algorithm or whatever, whatever they call it, and so she's into all these cat videos, cats singing, cats doing this, cats doing that, cats roller skating, cats, just cat stuff, cat stuff.
Oh, cat stuff,
cat stuff.
Like my wife, the doodle dogs keep coming up.
Okay, all right,
we have one. You know what comes up in mine?
What's that?
Viagra ads. Why is that?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I don't know. I don't see.
I never delete them, but they still keep coming.
I've never heard you had a problem with that.
I'm not saying I do, but they're coming up. I don't know why.
Well, they should
be. What kind
be.
of algorithm am I making here?
They should be coming up for me because I do have a problem.
Oh,
what can I tell you?
Got a person.
So sometimes I'm watching a ball game or something, and I check. I don't do Instagram, but I check our all over the road Instagram thing. So
sure.
I check it, and for instance, on there right now they talk about how the Saints just signed this guy Marquez Stantling. What's his name? It's got 3 names: Sterling, Stantling guy who's a wide receiver guy.
From where? He signed him from another team?
No, he wasn't on a team.
Oh,
he wasn't on a team.
Like a practice squad or something.
My question is Michael Thomas is right over down the street at Gabriel. He's down the street. If you go down Chateau Boulevard in Kenna.
Wait, Michael Thomas is in town?
Yes, he lives here.
He's not playing for anybody.
He's not playing. He's right down the street. He'll play for cheap.
He's playing in a sandlot down the street?
That just kills me.
Is he still under contract?
No, he's not under contract.
With anybody?
No, he's sitting there in Gabriel over there.
Well, he's got an attitude, so probably nobody wants
him. He lives right across the street from Zion Williamson.
Really?
The Pelican player. Okay. Now, the other thing I was on the Instagram is that, did you see the thing with Donald Trump at the McDonald's?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we posted it. Got a lot of views.
Oh, priceless.
Posted it. It was a good thing.
Priceless.
It was a stunt, right?
Yeah, well, see, that's just
but did you see the left-wing legacy media? That was all staged.
Oh,
really?
Well, you know what? See, here's the deal. And I'll say this again. I kind of wish it would have been.
Would have been what?
It would have been scripted or planned out or stunt. What do they call it? Choreographed. Stage.
Well, it probably was.
It was not.
Well, not staged to where they told them what to say and everything, but I mean, it was
of course it was
set up. An event. It was planned. Yes. It was, I'm sure Secret Service, the people just didn't pull up in the drive-through randomly.
They were saying that the people. I mean,
but if that needs to be explained to somebody, I mean, how dumb are you,
Ted? The people driving up in the drive-through were random. The drive-through people were random. They were real.
I don't know about that.
No. It's been already proved. They had one lady.
They were not screened in any way.
No,
they had to be.
They weren't.
Okay,
they weren't.
But I don't know.
They weren't.
Anyways,
nobody knew he was there. Nobody knew he was there. That's what I mean. The people that came from nobody knew he was going to be at this.
But I can't believe McDonald's. That with the guy that's already been shot at once, and then another one was.
Well, they would have had to have inside information. Nobody knew. This is what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If nobody knew.
Okay, if nobody knew, but still people were pulling up in the McDonald's drive-thru, and they weren't told, oh, by the way.
No.
Former President Donald Trump is at the drive-thru window, so let us look in your car real quick and run a little quick.
No, they had they had Secret Servicemen inside and outside the restaurant. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I mean, guess if you were suspicious, well, what's going on here? I mean, it'd be like seeing cameras. If you're being, well, there's cameras here. There's something going on here. No, it was a complete secret. The people that went through the drive-through were real people. That's what I'm saying. But here's the thing. This is what I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. I almost wish it would have been completely made up, because then we'd be doing exactly what they do.
Right.
And that's what I've been saying. Whatever they say you're doing is what they're doing.
Already doing.
They've been doing it.
In the process of doing.
Not already. Currently.
When they accuse you of whatever.
It's always been that way.
Oh, yeah. It's one of their tactics.
And then I'm seeing all these things on Instagram about, and then watch the NFL games, stop the hate, stop the hate, stop the hate.
Oh, yeah. What's all that about?
Well, let me tell you what it's about.
I mean, stop the hate, of course,
it's
right?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The people that are saying stop the hate are the haters themselves.
That's right.
They are the haters.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, it's unbelievable. And you know what? What really bugs me is that the people, they're gullible. They just, we say in the inner city here in New Orleans, we say that person's ignorant.
Ignorant.
They ignorant. Yeah. I don't think it's fair to call these people stupid. It's not. Plus, my grandkids get in trouble for saying that word, stupid. Mm-hmm. But they're ignorant. They just don't know. And in order for them to find out, they'd have. They don't know where to go to. Where do you get the information? If you're ignorant.
To find out if you're ignorant?
No, where do you get if you're ignorant and you want to learn about something, where do you get the truth?
Well, you'd have to go to a number of places.
I'd like to know of one.
Online and books and wherever, right? But
we talked to Scott McCain. He says he gets here, he searches, blah, 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 blah. How do you know? That's my question. How do you know that anything that you're reading, the old saying, don't believe everything you read.
Okay, I'm a Christian, so I measure it to the Word of God.
Okay, well, that's good.
Like, what does the Word of God say?
Okay. But a lot of these stories don't have anything.
Well, that's true, but they're not direct correlations to the each other. But generally speaking,
I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so now you have J.D. Vance. He's at this rally. Someone yells out, that could have been planned. I don't know. But someone yells out, and it happened to be during a quiet time. So maybe this was something that was premeditated. Jesus is Lord. And the Kamala.
I was going to say that.
The Kamala.
I didn't know what happened in advance, but you're saying
Jesus
Kamala.
is Lord. Okay,
Right.
so Makala says.
Yeah, and Christ is King.
Yeah, and
she says.
You're at the wrong rally. That rally's down the street. That rally's down the street. Now, let me just say this to you. I did the 2-part series. I'm mad as hell, and I ain't going to take it anymore. We talked about the biblical implications about what's going on today in this country. And knowing that we are really the only true ally to Israel, and Israel's God's people. Okay, we know that for a fact. That's what the Bible says. That's our authority. That's me and Ted's authority, and that's the book that has a lifetime shelf time. Right. It's always relevant as it was then, as it is today. Okay, now I've been saying all along, this is good versus evil. Kamala Harris cannot even if she wanted to say amen to that, she can't. Okay, because I hate to say this, because a demon is not going to say amen to that. A demon, whether the election is won or lost, is not going to say amen to that. And that's what I mean.
Right.
These are powers and principalities that are not flesh and blood. And this is what you're up against. So evangelical Christians, they screwed up by pissing off the Catholics, her not showing up at that dinner. They pissed them off. They're pissing off the Latinos. They're pissing off the black people. They're pissing off the Arabs. They're pissing off everybody.
Yeah.
Okay? Which is great because on November 5th, and believe me, this 2 weeks isn't going to go fast enough. On November 5th, we're all going to get there and see and watch them all cry again.
But the only people that aren't pissed off are the pro-choice people.
I don't even know why that's an issue because it's a state issue.
Well, of course, I agree. But
It's not an issue.
that's the people who are like, yeah, Kamala, you know.
Well, but see, they're ignorant. They don't understand that it's a state
right.
issue. I'm not going to call them stupid.
Right.
But they're ignorant.
You know, like Donald Trump took the right away. And he did appoint the 2, Supreme Court justices or 3, I think it was.
And if he would have lost, whoever he ran against, who was it? Hillary, she'd have done the same thing.
Exactly.
It's just the way it's just the way it went down.
I mean, so there's no argument there. There's no argument, but that's what they believe, and that's what they keep saying, and over and over and over and over again.
But I wish there was, and of course, I call Fox, the lesser of 2 evils.
Yeah.
I thought that Brent Bauer should have been a lot rougher on her,
Brett Baier,
whatever his name is.
He missed a couple opportunities.
It's just.
I mean, I don't think he did a bad job.
In other words,
he did miss a couple opportunities, to follow up, and he had to. He's
too busy trying to be a journalist.
If you're interviewing her, you're gonna have to interrupt her because she's not gonna. She didn't answer any of the 10 questions.
She hasn't answered.
She didn't answer any of them.
She hasn't answered a question.
And you know where she was
since
after
she got the nomination?
After she says you're in the wrong rally. To the guys in the, you know where she was the next day? In a church.
So I first encountered the words of Galatians as a young girl at 23rd Avenue Church of God in Oakland, California, which is where I sang in the children's choir.
If you could call that a church.
But she actually,
if you can
they
call
put
that a
her
church.
in the pulpit and let her.
If you can call that a church.
I don't even want to say preach.
It's not a church. It wasn't a church.
But she was, and she quoted scripture and all that, and.
Well, demon can quote scripture.
Exactly.
But they're not. I'm not
saying this was a great thing.
But they're not going to say amen.
I can't believe a church put her in their pulpit.
But they're not going to say amen to Jesus is Lord. No possible way. That's just the way.
No, it's ridiculous.
And then there's Drew Brees. Drew Brees comes in town. He don't live here no more. He doesn't have anything to do in New Orleans. He has a couple of restaurants.
Sure?
No.
He just comes to visit?
He lives in San Diego. He's got these restaurants here. I'm ready. I don't care. I'm ready for Drew Brees to just go away. All right. He's in the Saints Hall of Fame. Right off into the sunset, Drew. Go away.
Well, when you got a season going the way it's going now, one of the bright spots is still Drew Brees' memory.
To me,
his accomplishments.
To me, it just made it worse.
Yeah. It's like,
to me, it made it worse.
What are we supposed to do?
And you know what the problem
about Drew Brees or the current season?
He made the Saints Hall of Fame, so he came in town.
Yeah.
And watched him get beat down on Thursday night, But it's time for him to just go away. Okay, you did your thing. Hey, we're thankful. Just go. You're not part of this community. Go away. I mean, really, Drew Brees was a guy that the whole time he played here with the Saints, we should have won 2-3 more Super Bowls. He was more concerned about standing in his driveway in Audubon Place, in his gated community, okay, and waiting for the newspaper to hit his driveway so you see his name in the paper. That's all he cared about. Freaking Drew Brees. And I know people are going to hate me for that. I don't care.
Oh, he is one of our beloved people, but
this is what we do here. I don't hate
who
the guy.
Can seemingly do no wrong.
Plus, we met him once, and he was very rude.
Where'd you meet him?
I met him at the Saints facility.
Really?
Yeah, I was there having lunch at the Saints facility, and
you got to talk to him, and he wasn't very.
Yeah, he was not nice. Very nice. He was not very nice. So,
I never met him.
Okay, so granddaughter's doing good. Everything's good.
Yeah, she's like just over a month old. Talk about time flying.
How are we doing getting Cyrus back on? Is it a possibility?
Well, we got to reach out to him.
Tyrus.
When we had him, was that last year? Or was it? Yeah, it was 23.
Yeah.
And you were out of town or something, so you couldn't be on that one. But he was a great guest to have on, of course. And I'm not sure if he lives in Mandeville anymore.
No,
or moved.
He moved.
You sure about that?
Yeah, because Derek sold his house.
Because I heard him on Gutfeld say he lives in Mandeville.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's just saying that. Maybe he's.
I don't know. He had a house in Mandeville.
Yeah.
That was all. Right. It was pink with pink flamingos.
Yeah, it was very
gaudy.
Very gaudy, and it was up for sale.
He did sell it. So maybe I don't know if he bought another house in Mandeville, but I know he lives in New York most of the time.
But he's so I'm saying his popularity or whatever has grown since we had him on.
I know.
And he was coming to town, so he wanted to promote his show at the theater. What's the
Sanger?
Not the Sanger, the smaller one.
Aretha Jackson?
Something like that.
What's her name? Jackson.
Orpheum, I think it was.
Orpheum, okay.
Yeah, Orpheum.
Michaela Jackson.
Yeah, so he wanted to promote that, of course, so he had a reason. I don't see on his dates, I looked at his schedule, I don't see him with any Louisiana dates at all coming up.
But
he's out there. But
you still know how to get hold of him, or his people, no?
What's that?
Did you know how to get hold of his people?
Yeah, I've got his number.
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually returned a couple texts in the past.
Okay.
But
stay on him.
But it's not like we're, close buds, so I don't think I could just, pick up the phone and say, hey, man. Hey, man, Vic wants to have you on.
I'd love to have him on.
I want you to come on when he's there.
I would.
So I'll work on it. And another guy we're working on is, and you kind of have a problem with having him on, Scoot.
Oh, geez, come on.
I know, but I just think
he doesn't want to be on.
I think he'd be a fun. Well, he probably doesn't.
Our people don't even know who Scoot is. That's just it. You know who Scoot is. Our people don't know who he is.
Well, New Orleans people do.
You just want to get the guy on so you can make fun of him.
No, Scoot, if you hear
it
this,
because
that's not true.
Because he was mean to you.
Scoot, it's not true.
And he was never mean to me. He was never mean to me.
Literally 40 years ago. So I think I got past it. But yes, he was. But that's not why I want to have him on. I think he'd be a good guest. Yeah. I mean, look, is whatever we think of him professionally, and he did win once again. I saw this just last month or recently.
He won a Marconi?
He won the Marconi. No, the Gambit magazine personality of the year.
Well, there you go.
Or
Gambit.
Best personality, whatever radio. He won it again. And so people know who he is. I think it'd be fun to have him on. I know politically we probably don't agree, but that's fine. Whatever, right? And I don't think he's ever going to. As a matter of fact, he's blocked us. His Scoot on the Air Facebook page. And he's blocked our All Over the Road.
We just wasted 3.5 minutes
New Orleans.
on Scoot.
Hang on, man. We got to go somewhere?
Yeah, I do.
We got 2 weeks.
I got to make candid phone calls. You kidding me?
He blocked us. So if that's any indication, he will not be on our show. I don't think, but I don't know.
Well, let me tell you this. No matter how many people block us, it's not as many people that have blocked me. That I can assure you. Personally, yes. Oh. I can assure you. I lead the league in being blocked.
You never post anything.
No, but I talk to people and then they block me.
Oh.
I don't know. Just general conversations. All right, candid phone calls coming up next. All over the podcast. Hold on. I don't know about you, and with this election going on, people are shooting presidents. China's going into Taiwan. You gotta ask yourself: Is this world going to hell in a handbasket? Huh? Is it? What do? You don't pay. You gonna panic? You gonna get anxiety? You're gonna call your doctor and get some antidepressants? What do? Well, it's real simple. You call the people that can help you. The people that can help you protect your money. They call it minding your money. CoinTrader Inc. They're the experts. They know everything. They tailor everything to your needs, and they are willing to help and make things work for you and your family and create a business relationship /friendship. Call them right now, 504-267-6004. If you've ever thought about buying gold, silver, platinum, palladium coins for you and your family and your family's future. It's Coin Trader Inc. Mind your money. Tell them the king of all podcasting sent you. Candid phone calls, candid phone calls, candid phone calls, candid phone calls. All right, back with Ted Semper. It's all over the road. The podcast, Nolans. The new Coin Trader Studios here in Lakeview.
It's a nice little jingle we got there.
I know.
Brand new.
Damn good jingle.
I can't tell you who's singing on it.
Damn
you can only
good
guess.
Jingle. And I
made
it. There was a Instagram thing. We were talking about that a few minutes ago. There was an Instagram thing from The Onion. They did a post, and I said that one of their stories was fake. Okay, you ever heard of The Onion?
Yeah, they're all fake, aren't they?
I don't know, but I said something that their story was fake.
Yeah.
And I said CNN is a propaganda machine, nothing more, and they have the worst talent in television.
Oh.
That's what I said.
They do.
And the guy from Onion said, whoosh.
Whoosh.
The Onion guy, he said, whoosh. What does that mean? Whoosh.
He's whoosh. You've been whooshed.
Just whoosh.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. But then I commented, they had a picture of our wonderful mayor, the Destroyer, Latoya the Destroyer. She was showing that she voted early. She had I voted early. She had the pin on, and she had some kind of goofy outfit on. Oh, and my comment was just, yikes.
Yikes.
Yikes, because really, it's way too close. That picture, they could have panned back to Cleveland. It'd have been a lot better picture.
Yeah.
My God.
Is she indicted or what?
And I don't
know.
I don't know.
I don't think she's there's been talk like the last 3 years she's going to be indicted, but I don't think she's been indicted.
But it got 560 likes.
Your comment?
Yes. 500. Yikes.
Yikes.
Just yikes.
Yikes.
See, now I can't really.
So that's on, that's on Instagram, on The Onion?
No, that was something else.
Oh, that was on maybe her.
It was a local, some local thing.
She's got her own social media.
Some local thing.
Maybe we can have her on too. What do you think?
She's not going to come on.
Well,
she's not going to come on.
Why not?
Okay, because she won't. Okay, we'll start. Should we do our first phone call?
Since we're running out of time, according to you.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
Yeah, we need to call somebody, candid phone call. These people do not know we're calling them.
No, they do not know.
In some cases, they don't even know we have their phone number.
Wow, that's
possibly.
Hot. That's hot. That
was coming in kind of hot. It was hot. So I don't even know who you're calling. I guess you know.
See, this is the thing about candid phone calls. You don't know if they're going to answer.
You don't even know if they're going to answer.
No. Of course, if they don't, don't.
Yeah.
If we do,
your call has been forwarded.
You're going to want to edit some.
Well, they're not going to answer.
Don't edit all of them, but you're going to want to answer. You're going to want to edit some of them.
I want people to hear some of the frustration that we go through. Just trying to reach people. Is there not a setting on your iPhone that will block your ID when you're making a call, such as you are right now? So they won't know. It's all over the road podcast calling. And they're like,
don't know.
Oh, God, I don't want to talk to them. He probably wants to put me on the show again.
Here I am. I'm right in the middle of candid phone calls.
Look, we don't pay any guests. We've never paid a guest to be on. So if if we do call you, and we ask you to be on as a guest, don't expect to be paid or compensated.
And don't sue us.
If you come to the studio, the Coin Trader Studio, we may give you a cup of coffee or bottle of water.
Sue us. Please don't sue us. All right, here's another one. Trying another one here.
Call it another one.
Yeah.
That's two rings.
Hold on. All right. This guy will definitely answer. He will. I guarantee it. He might be our only candid phone call.
Is this Victor Del Giorno?
Yes, it is. This is Mike McCann.
Hey,
you ready? You ready? Mike, listen, you ready? People who know DBO. Who's that? People who know. Who is that?
Do it.
It's good, huh?
It's classic.
Let me do it again, Mike. Ready? People who know DBO.
Hey, I want to see if Mike remembers me.
Hey, Mike, we're doing candid phone calls on the podcast, and you're one of our candid phone calls. I hope you don't mind. Mike McCann, ladies and gentlemen.
Mike McCann.
World voice man.
I literally haven't seen or talked to Mike McCann.
He might be pissed.
35 years.
Let the man talk. He might be pissed. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
I'm having a hard time understanding.
Understanding what?
You down the phone line.
Is it a bad connection?
Are we broadcasting? What's going on?
Well, we're recording. Yeah. We're recording. We don't broadcast. We record. This is a podcast. We record these, and so we can edit them.
Okay. So who's in on the
Okay.
joke?
First of all, for those of you that are listening, this is Mike McCann. He's a world-renowned voice guy. His voice is very familiar. People know his voice. And as he talks, you'll probably recognize him. In with me now is Ted Semper. He was the old Hollywood Harrison when we worked at Q. Remember Hollywood, the redhead guy, the ginger guy?
I do.
There you go.
You remember me?
There you go.
Hey, Mike.
Nobody ever remembers him, so he's very happy that you remember him, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Ted, that was like another lifetime ago,
Listen to that voice.
It really was. I said like 35 years ago, and I think that's probably pretty accurate. I think it was 90-something?
All right, don't get him going here, Mike, because he'll get going. And
13Q. I was on the AM, so was Vic, Big Ragu. And
it's Lou Boudreau.
Or Lou Boudreau. Mike McCann was on the FM, I believe, doing afternoons.
Did you ever do full time in
Q93?
Did you do full time on the afternoons, Mike?
I thought he did.
That's just it. Yeah, I was hired for it. Well, I was really going to do mornings when I came down here.
Oh, yeah?
I had been, I'd waken up Philadelphia. They figured if I could wake up Philadelphia, I could do New Orleans.
Absolutely.
But then they did an audible at the line of scrimmage. I got a phone call. Hey, we got our eye on these two crazy dudes out of Beaumont, Texas. We're going to hire Waltman Johnson and put them in mornings.
Mm-hmm.
But how'd you like to do afternoons?
You said, great, I'll have to get up early.
So that's how I ended up. Phil Zachary wanted out of, boy, he was really rough in the afternoons.
Well, he wasn't.
I loved Phil Zachary.
I loved him too. He suspended me once because I punched out Chuck E. Cheese, Mike.
Because you wanted.
I thought that was B97.
No, that was Q.
That was Q?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were at a parade lined up at Clearview Shopping Center, and the guy then, the mascot in the Chuck E. Cheese outfit, was being mouthy, so I punched him and spun his whole head around. And he fell on the ground, and the little kid goes, "Hey, Mom, that man just knocked out Chuck E. Cheese." It's true. It's true.
Mike used to kick me out of the studio.
And Zachary suspended me for 5 days.
Yeah.
For knocking
I liked Phil because, as you may, I don't know if you remember, the AM was like an experiment or something. I don't know what it was. We had a 0.8 in ratings for 2 books. And, high expectations. I mean, it was AM station playing
stereo,
music, even
it was stereo
back then.
AM stereo,
nobody was really, and you guys were FM, so we were always jealous, of that. But
I don't know if you know this or not, Ted, but Mike is doing all the voice work for my brother Michael's morning show on Premier Radio. Did you know that?
Yeah, you told me about 20 times.
I did?
Yeah. And that's awesome.
How did you and my brother Michael come to be, Mike?
Say what?
How did you and my brother Michael come to be, as far as you doing this work for them?
As it turns out, he got a big kick out of what I was doing in afternoons, and I wasn't aware I was making that much of an impression on him, but some of the things I did on the air made a big impression on him.
And he remembered you. We used to make fun of you all the time. I mean, we do not make fun of you. We may do, No,
Yeah,
imitation.
Vic. Yeah, did you make fun of Mike?
Yeah. Well,
why?
Well, imitation is a form of flattery.
Well, I think you were jealous.
I was.
Yeah,
I was
I think
jealous.
that's the whole thing.
I mean, people who
Mike had that smooth delivery.
No DBO. When I say that, everybody knows who he is.
So what's some other spots you're doing that we may be familiar with, Mike? Like clients, you're doing voice work and all
He's
that?
doing a lot of books.
I'm having a hard time hearing you guys in this phone patch setup that you got.
Yeah. We don't have nothing patched. Maybe that's the problem. We just run we run a basic Roadcaster Pro board, and then we just call right off a cell phone.
It works for us, Mike. It works for us.
Which we Bluetooth into the board, and that's how we do it. But we do have some Shure
So wait, this
SM7Bs.
is the All Over the Road podcast that I'm on?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well, we have some Shure SM7B microphones. But then, Vic, what's yours? Sennheiser?
I've got a Sennheiser knockoff.
Well, we got some top microphones.
Yeah.
I
I've
might
got the
just be
Chinese
the
version.
operators that the problem is. But I was wondering what other clients, like spots, do you do nationally that people might know or we might recognize? Anybody else?
DBO.
What is DBO?
What is DBO, Mike?
What is it? Mike?
Michael?
Are you there?
Yeah, I just jumped to another phone, see if this is a little better. You still there?
He's a perfectionist.
I love that. He's always working to make it better.
No, I was wondering, what does DBO do? He'd be here telling us all kinds.
I know.
He'd be telling
he probably needs to visit us.
Well, he'd probably tell us everything we're doing wrong.
Yeah.
All
well, okay.
What does DBO do?
What does what do?
DBO.
DBO.
You do their voice work. DBO.
DBO.
You don't do DBO? You don't do DBO? That's not you?
No, I don't know what you're talking
about. The guy sounds just like you, for God's sake. DBO guy.
Is this Mike McCann? Is this really Mike McCann?
It is.
I know it.
So, Mike, you know, me and Ted, we both do a Scoot impression. And so Ted's trying to get Scoot to come on the show, but Scoot won't come on because he blocked us because we're always doing impressions. So if we do our 2 Scoot impressions, you know who Scoot is, don't you? Didn't you work with Scoot? Did you work with Scoot?
I was actually listening to Scoot when you called.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Really? On WWW. I'm Scoot?
No, I check him out most afternoons. I get a kick out of
I listen to him sometimes.
what he does. I get a kick out of hearing New Orleans people. I get a kick out of, you know, how pissed off do you have to be to sit on hold that long to get a shot for maybe 20, 30 seconds on the air? And these guys say, well, I've been on hold for like an hour, you know. Come on.
Well, you know, every year we do the Rich Maudie Cancer Fund thing over at Stone Creek on the North Show. And Spud McConnell was there because he works with the Terrebonne Parish Food Bank. That's his full-time job. He's the director of the Terrebonne Parish Food Bank. So he was there.
Spud's a good man.
Great guy.
John McConnell's a good man.
Really good man. And he's been in a couple plays with my daughter, Katie. And so we were chatting a little bit, and I was telling, Ted and I were there doing a podcast from there, and we were doing our Scoot imitations. And we always do this. People don't know who does the best Scoot, you know. And so, you know, he gave us our input. But we think he went back and told Scoot, and that's why we got blocked.
So he blocked our Facebook page.
But anyway, Ted and I, we're going to do our Scoot impressions. We're going to tell you which order, okay? So A will be one guy, B will be the other. Okay, of course, A will go first because A comes different. And you tell us what Scoot is a better Scoot impression. Are you ready? Are you ready, Mike McCann? Right. You got your hand on the buzzer?
I do.
Okay.
All right.
Good, because it's better than where you probably had it.
Here's the first one.
Much better place.
Here's the first. Here's the
first one.
Impersonation.
This is Scoot. Good afternoon. I'm Scoot. This is Scoot. Scoot in the morning. I'm Scoot.
Okay, here's the second one, Mike. You listening? Here we go. I'm Scoot. I It's go to Terrebonne Parish. Oh, you're on Scoot. Yeah, you're on Scoot.
No, I'm Scoot.
No, you're on Scoot.
No, I'm Scoot.
Okay, which one? The first one or the second one?
I think number 2.
Oh, yeah!
No.
Because the first one sounds like who, Mike McCann? The late, great Casey Kasem.
I do kind of slip in my Casey Kasem. I don't know why.
He tries to do Scoot, and he slips into Casey. Which, to me, Scoot and Casey sound nothing alike.
I'm sorry. I did slip into my Casey Kasem. I'm sorry.
Anyways.
There he is. Mike McCann, ladies and gentlemen.
Mike McCann.
All right, Mike, we're going to do lunch soon. Again, okay?
Again?
Promise?
All right, guys. Hey, wow, so where can I tune in to hear this podcast? How do I track it down?
You ever heard of Buzzsprout, iHeart?
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
It's not over terrestrial radio.
No, we don't do terrestrial. We're interterrestrial.
It's just go to Apple Podcasts or what, I don't know if you have an iPhone or wherever you get your podcasts or if you listen to podcasts at all.
There's terrestrial, interterrestrial, and I can't tell.
Search AOTR or search All Over the Road, but you have to put New Orleans after that in most cases. All Over the Road, New Orleans. It'll come up.
All right, I'll see if I can track it down.
All kinds of good stuff here. We all kinds of famous people.
Hey, thanks for including me in your madness, guys. I appreciate
it was a candid phone call. We just never know, who's going to answer, and you did, and we appreciate it, Mike.
Yeah, because we made 3 other calls, they didn't answer, but we appreciate you answering. Mike McCann, ladies and gentlemen, he is not, by the way, the DBO guy. All Over the Road, the podcast is a production of the All Over the Road Podcast Network. Peace out. He said,
say that again. What did he say?
Said peace, love, dope. That's it. That's what he said. For Ted Semper, Victor Del Giorno, the king of all podcasting. Saying, don't forget the boat.
Yeah. And
sharing is caring. Come on now.
I'm on the Coin Trader Studios, we're bringing it live. And who am I? I go by the name of Darkest Night. And Jada Hoyos is the one who brings a sick beat, to which we're getting pumped for topics this week. So now you grab my great soda and take a sip, while I turn it over to Katie, Nick, Ted, and Vic. It's all over. We're all over the road. We got a brand new show, so just lo and behold, from the bayou to the city to the burbs to the swamps, you better know what time it is when you're hearing that.
Donald Trump is not going to be that bad. Don't run. He's going to make a kill, bring their ass over here and start building them desks and stuff in America, because he's going to make America great again. Let's go, Donald Trump!
All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by CoinTrader Inc. For real-time prices on gold, silver, palladium, and platinum 24/7, go to goldpricesnow.com. That's goldpricesnow.com.